All right, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Outcasts, episode 4 with Sports Mockery. I am your boy Buzz, and to my left, I got my man Juice.
Juice, the Juice Man.
We had a hell of a week.
Yeah, we really did.
Hell of a week. From working outside in the 90s to 100-degree temperature to coming home last night from work in my basement, our studio being flooded. But we're here, goddammit. We're here.
It's I don't know what I'm stepping in right now, but it's not sewage water, so that's a plus.
No, I pooed right there. So it's
just a little wet. No, I'm just kidding, guys. No, he did a real good job. Actually, we both had some hardware kind of work to do around the house. Him with his basement, and I had to take down my pool that we've had for 10 years. So we're both pretty tired, but there's just so much that happened since we've done a podcast that we can't miss this week, guys.
No, you gotta grind. You gotta grind. I didn't want to, 12 hours at work yesterday, come home, and another 8 or 9 just down here trying to get it back to normal and get it back to recording style, So we're back.
So
we're
happy
kicking
4th
ass.
too, Buzz.
Oh, thanks,
Didn't
man.
get a chance to spend it with you. I usually do. But, it's a long week for both of us.
Oh, yeah, long ass week. But, now that you are listening to the Outcast with Buzz and Juice here on Sports Mockery, be sure to check out the Mockery Podcast Network featuring our brethren, Pinwheels and Ivy, who cover everything Chicago baseball from the Sox to the Cubs and the MLB. Be sure to check out sportsmockery.com for all of your sports literature needs.
New app.
Oh, yeah, and the new app, right?
Yeah, make
right.
sure you go download the new app. The new app has a lot of different features as well as us. We're finally on it now. So you can view your podcast, both of us and Pinwheels and Ivy have our first 3 episodes on the new app. So you can listen to it. Pop it in while you're listening to your favorite writers.
Absolutely.
Or reading about your favorite, not listening to your favorite writers.
Well, you can do that
reading
too.
your favorite writers.
You can do that too. If you are listening on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and a comment down below on why you chose to listen to us. And if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Google Play, all the other platforms, SoundCloud, make sure you give us a like, and you know the whole 9. So that's about it there. And on July 13th at Kennedy Park, we have a Papa Hop 16-inch softball tournament. Softball Sports Mockery will be in attendance. The benefits the Tom Hopkins Memorial Foundation, which has helped raise over $100,000 for local youth athletics and local families who have been affected by cancer. So be sure to check that out on July 13th.
Go ahead and go and grab a beer. They're partnered up with a local brewery over there. I'm blanking on the name. But if you go watch the video, they did a whole YouTube video of what they're brewing. They're brewing a special beer for that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Sports Mockery will be out there. You get a chance to meet some of your favorite writers. Unfortunately, Buzz and I both had prior engagements. This will kind of transition into the next weekend. We'll be recording, but I'm doing a wiffle ball tournament.
Sweet.
Swing for Homes. It's held in Decatur, Illinois. Benefits Habitat for Humanity down in the Decatur area. I'm part of the Old Town Cubs. That's going to be our team name. I'm excited to get out there, swing the bat again. It's been a while since I played a little wiffle ball or any baseball in general. But I'm going to try to channel my inner Javi Baez and be exciting at least. I don't know what type of excitement I'll bring. It might be pulling a hamstring going to first base or something like that. But, yeah, it should be fun. If you guys are in the Decatur area and you listen to our podcast, come by, meet me. We'll be fun. I'll be passing out Big League Chew.
Oh, hell
which
yeah.
will be fun, and I'll be in...
Bring some of that home for me, too.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'll be in full Cubs, Old Town Cubs attire too. I got the baseball pants and I just bought a new set of cleats just for this event.
Oh, fantastic.
So
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
I won't be able to make it because I got to work unless I can trade with somebody. If I do trade with somebody, I will be at Papa Hop 16-inch softball.
Yeah.
I
So
will
you'll
be there. So
you'll be representing the Outcasts. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. If you guys want to come and meet me, be great. Be nice to meet some of our fans. If not, make sure you follow the SM Outcast page because I am going to be Twitter living my at-bats or maybe like the highlights of it.
When you're going to swing the wiffle ball back, can you Twitter live with your left hand and swing with your right?
I was thinking about it. You know what I was really thinking about?
And then peg a little kid?
Just having, like, I know there's an umpire out there. Just having him hold it and call balls and strikes and just kind of chirp me while I go up to bat.
There we go.
Yeah, no, so let's first dive into it. we'll go into our first segment. Let's crack one open. Today we are drinking Sun Crusher by Revolution. It's a American pale wheat ale. One of our favorites. We drink this fairly often. It's a crushable ale to celebrate the end of winter and rejoice coming warmer weather. This American wheat ale is brewed with Apollo and Amarillo hops and a dry blend of Crystal, Amarillo, and Mosaic, resulting in mellow bitterness and pronounced flowery and citrus aromas. It's fantastic. We're going to give it a rating, although we've both had it, so I think we could have gave it a rating before we even opened it.
I always gave Sun Crusher about. I give it a. You know what? I'm gonna get on your level. I'm gonna give it a 7.3.
Ooh, okay, you're going with the decimals. All right, I'm gonna go with a 6.9, if you know what I mean.
No.
It's one of those wet bitterness, like you said, with the aromas and all the different hop mixed together. American pale wheat ale by Revolution. Great for a hot day playing bags. Great for going to Papa Hops and watching your favorite sports mockery guys watch the softball tournament next week, or meeting us down in Decatur to watch the Juice Man go 3 for 3 with 3 home runs.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is my Eat Crow moment. So this is the Eat Crow segment will be for this week. Juice Man at least goes. What did I have in here? I think I said I'm going yard at least twice in the tournament.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, game 1, I'm going yard first at bat, deep center. I might call my shot before I get out there. If not, I'm eating jalapenos. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh Jesus.
Get them ready, Buzz, because I'm probably striking out. Like, this is probably the first lose Eat Crow moment. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, well, I mean, I'll tell you what, man. We have this long ongoing thing that our sports mockery brothers were telling us about. I'm going to call him out one more time this week. Pat O'Donnell. Why you ducking me, bro?
He really is, man.
Why you ducking me? You see these arms, bro?
And we were talking about this in the group chat.
I
really feel like if I loaded you up with Sour Patch Kids and, like, maybe a couple beers, we'd be able to get you.
That's like a crackhead on cocaine, man. I would take that guy out. I mean, not in a fight. I meant running and lifting. And then yeah.
Running, you got him. I think he's slow.
Yeah, I got him.
Kickers are slow.
Yeah, I got him.
Lifting, I'm gonna have to really load you up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me
Big League Chew, candy, sour gummy worms.
Yep, some Warheads.
Definitely a little beer.
Yeah.
You'll need that.
Yep, no need it. Maybe a Moscow Mule or something like that. But very excited to go into our first segment of the show here today.
And we don't normally do this, but we're going to jump right into Chicago Blackhawks talk because we have a guest today.
We have our boy, our literal brother.
Yeah.
Same blood.
Our guy, Certified Tony G.
Certified Tony G is in the building. Tony, what's going on, bro?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the Outcasts. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hell yeah, man.
As you said, my name's Tony G. I'm also part of the Sports Mockery family. I've been with Sports Mockery since May, and I covered the Blackhawks like you mentioned. I've been a Blackhawks fan through it all. Started in the mid-'90s when games weren't even being televised, all the way up until now with the 3 Stanley Cups in the 5-year span. My favorite all-time Blackhawks player would have to be Chris Chelios. Big Chelios guy.
There you go.
What do you think about Jeremy Roenick?
Jeremy Roenick, all-time great Chicago Blackhawk, but got to give that to my boy Chris Chelios.
Yeah, I got to say JR is a very overrated analysis on the NBC Sports Network when it comes to hockey. Not a big fan of his work. I think his prickness really.
When he cried when we won, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, and he played for like 16 different teams. I'm like, dude, you're not a Blackhawk lover. You never were.
Yeah. So Tony, we're gonna ask you a couple questions here today, man, and you let us know what you think, and we're gonna lead off with Juice asking you a couple questions.
Yeah. So Tone, obviously us being big Blackhawks fans, the draft was just last week. We're curious about your thoughts on what the Blackhawks draft looked like, what their grade they received. Were there any moves that you thought that they should have made, opposed to maybe a player that they got at the 8th pick and at the 27th pick, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. Overall, I would say it's a great draft. It addressed a lot of team needs and roster holes. As far as grades go, I'd probably say B+. The reason why I would go with a B+ rather than an A is because although the picks address team needs and helped fill some holes on the team, realistically, we won't be seeing any of these guys for maybe 2 or 3 years because some of them are coming from overseas, like Adam Boquist, They have to learn how to play the North American hockey game on the smaller rink as opposed to the larger rink overseas.
Okay.
Right on, right on. So then, you give the draft a B+. Tell us about Adam Boquist. What skill does he possess to become a top defenseman, and how will he fit the Blackhawks in the future?
As far as skills go, he's at the top. He's an offensive-minded defenseman who has elite upside, and he can also help boost the power play. For whatever reason, these guys cannot get a power play going to save their life. So his skill on the offensive end will help them out there. He has elite skating, puck handling, and he can also create for his teammates, which is huge on the offensive end. He can easily become a top 2 defenseman, especially on our team because we don't really have any legit defensemen.
Right.
Actually, if you want to hear a stat that I found out, the Blackhawks defense gave up the 8th most goals in the NHL last season. Pretty bad.
Yeah, that's as we see that aging core kind of transition out. Obviously, their cup run is kind of given its due. They've obviously missed the playoffs last year and first-round exit the year before. Tell us about Nicholas Bowden with the 27th pick. I think this is a kid that's going to really contribute, and I think they might have gotten a steal here because I think he rates just up there with an Adam Boquist as well.
Right. I also like the Bodine pick at number 27. He's very similar to Adam Boquist, but he won't have like the same ceiling, if you want to say that.
Okay.
Right, so it's basically what you see is what you get type thing with him?
Yeah, he will be top 4 defenseman, maybe not top 2, top 4 for sure. He's a good skater, and he's a good puck handler. His speed opens up a lot of passing lanes and shooting lanes, which is great for the team and his teammates. Like these picks are long overdue. Like you were saying, the team is basically at the 30-year-old benchmark with all their core players: Taves, Kane, Keith, Seabrook, Crawford. They're all getting old for hockey.
Right. So it's time for the youth movement to come in and try to, obviously do what they did before, have a youth movement come in and win, grow together type thing.
Right. Although most fans won't want to admit it, we are in the rebuilding mode right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't understand why people hate on that. If it is what it is, But I mean, Crawford was hurt. The Hawks had a few chances to make the playoffs last year, and they blew it.
When you look at the Blackhawks, you won 3 cups. You had your run. It's time to reload. It's time to get younger. As this game gets quicker, you're going to need defensemen to keep up with these young forwards that can fly around the ice now.
Right.
I like the picks this year. I like the two first picks.
Speaking of, any prospects in the later rounds, Tony, that you felt, I don't know, they're going to end up as a major contributor in the future for us?
Yeah, actually, this was a deep draft overall. A lot of defensemen, a lot of forwards. Talking about the Blackhawks, getting more specific, besides Boquist and Bodine, there are potentially a few more bright spots in this year's draft class. I like Jake Weiss. He was taken in the 3rd round this year. Weiss is an 18-year-old, and he plays the center position. Blackhawks really had a void at the center position last season, and they struggled with faceoffs as well. Kazan and Anisimov had off years, and then that's where Weiss can come in. Weiss can add depth at the center position. He played really well for the U.S. national under-18 team and the junior team this past year. He can put up some points, too, actually. He tallied 43 points in 38 games. Pretty impressive for a young guy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially in international play, too. That's really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be really nice if he could contribute. It seems like the Blackhawks have always struggled with the second-line center position. Really, dating back to their cup years, it's like they plugged in older aging players into that spot to play with Kane for so long. But now that as this game has gotten deeper and deeper and faster on the forward side, it seems like it's more and more crucial to have that good second line center.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and you could see that last year, and Anisimov didn't show up. I was about to put on an Amber Alert for him.
Speaking of Amber Alert,
help!
there is a player and a netminder that is Corey Crawford that a lot of people don't know where he is, and he's the $1 million mystery man on this team. First of all, where is Corey Crawford? Do you believe he's healthy to play this season? And after signing Cam Ward, do you think that they have enough in net if he's not healthy or he can't go to contend in this NHL?
Tough topic right there. Corey Crawford, that's a big question mark right now. I like to call it the curious case of Corey Crawford. Nobody knows what's going on. We can really only guess up to right now. We don't really have anything set in stone. They haven't announced anything. There are a few things, though. Many fans, along with myself, are wondering where he is and where Stan Bow and the rest of the management team is hiding him. I don't feel very optimistic about that situation at all because of the way the team has gone about it. First of all, Crawford has been out since December. That's a really big red flag right there. And then there has been zero updates on him, and there's no timetable for his return as of right now. Will he even be able to play next season? Who knows? Your guess is probably as good as mine right now. But Crawford will be at the Blackhawks convention this month, so maybe we can get an update there.
So maybe that's where we find out the news about him. Maybe that's where something maybe gets released either before or after, you know?
Yeah, right. And then to address the Cam Ward signing and the question marks in the net, the team opted to make a couple signings in free agency. Stambo went the safe route and signed some more veterans, which we already had a ton of. Don't really understand that, but Cam Ward, 34-year-old goalie, at this point in his career, he's a backup. Don't expect anything else. The guy won a Stanley Cup in Carolina in 06, so he has some experience and some Stanley Cup playoff experience, which is nice, especially with all these young guys on the team. He's had an okay career up to now, but he's nothing special. Then to top it off, Bowman thought it was a good idea to give him a no-trade clause along with his $3 million salary as a backup.
I didn't understand that. I saw that you went on a rant about that. I didn't understand that.
No, I was pissed, and I'm sure if you're following me on Twitter, you would see that.
I mean, do you have any speculation on why he would have done that? I mean, at all, or?
Honestly, I can't give you a straight answer on that one because that's not who I wanted.
That's just the day that we're going to get drunk in the backyard and talk about it, huh?
Yeah, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, probably tomorrow.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
Right. And then along the lines of free agency, there are two other moves. I don't know if you want to call them good moves, but that's what we're calling them. They're the big moves this season.
Right.
Chris Kunitz, another dinosaur, 38-year-old fourth-line forward. I mean, he's probably like between a 20-point, 30-point guy next season. Don't expect too much more than that. He's a veteran. He has some playoff experience. That could help the team out a little bit. And then the other guy, a defenseman from Philly, Brandon Manning, nothing special right there. Another third-line defenseman pairing to add to the pack of slackers on defense.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of speculation from fans and yourself, you know, and even my own opinions, man. Like the signings in this free agency have been kind of rough and not what Blackhawks fans have been hoping for. But I mean, I'm keeping my optimism because I think that Taze is going to bounce back. I think that we have a decent year. I think Crawford does come back.
To me, I think there's just so much pairing and synergy when it comes to the United Center right now. The Bulls are essentially punting because of what's going on with Golden State.
They're Pat O'Donnell.
And when you look at the Blackhawks as well, I think with the cap issues that they've had, they're essentially kind of just waiting it out until they can get some more money off the books, as they've probably had a little bit of trouble trading Anisimov and Hossa. As you've seen, that deal hasn't happened yet, and I felt like that would be a deal that's made before free agency. That way they had some cap to go out and get a top-name guy.
Right. If they could make at least one of those two guys go away, that would save them a lot of headaches.
Yeah, absolutely would. Well, Tone, I want to thank you so much for coming on, man. I'll probably see you tomorrow for some beer, but I appreciate you coming on, talking Blackhawks with us and everything. And, you know, we look forward to having you on during preseason and during the regular season, starting to preview the Hawks and everything.
Yeah, can't wait, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm glad to do it, and have me on whenever you want.
Oh, we appreciate it, man. Sports
Sounds good, buddy.
forever.
Thanks.
Later.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
That was our boy, Certified Tony G. You can follow him on Twitter at certified_Tony G with his Blackhawks talk. He's our Blackhawks man. He's our Blackhawks
He's a
diehard.
Blackhawks guy.
Yeah, he's a Blackhawks guy. So we appreciate him even taking the time to come on with us. Even
Yeah, it
though,
was good. It was good to hear like what's going on. Obviously, as a casual fan, it's good to kind of clarify some things that as you watch free agency go in. Like I said, I just feel like they're punting. They're just waiting to open up some cap. Once the Kane and Taves contracts move down yet another notch on the spectrum, because as of right now, I think they're slated at $12 million. I think it drops to $9.5 next year, and then after that, it's $6.5. Which on those guys on that type of deal, that's how you win. You got to have your stars on deal.
Team
deals
friendly deals
like that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but
well, speaking of team friendly deals,
yeah, man, this
Speaking
may go for 50 minutes.
Team friendly deals, man. DeMarcus Cousins to the Warriors. What? Is that Chris Berman? That what? Yeah, I don't know how he did it, man. I can't remember.
Well, no, I thought that was the whoop.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to do his voice, but I was trying to say what.
Okay, what? That makes sense.
Yes.
No,
tie that shit in.
What do you think that this? Obviously, this isn't good for the league. When you're looking at a competitive standpoint, the true diehard basketball fan is not going to enjoy watching Golden State roll through a competition.
I think it's great for the league.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a second. But what I think that this is great for the city of Chicago in general, because I feel like a lot of teams this year are just going to punt, and as more and more one-year deals get signed, just grows the free agent pot, and it gives the Bulls another year to see what they got. In terms of Laurie and in terms of Chris Dunn, all these young guys coming in. Obviously, Levine is the $1 million question, which we're going to address in a minute. But it'll be interesting to see obviously, as these teams as these players sign one-year deals, if the pot is larger for next year, and the Bulls, I feel like are going to be way more active next year in free agency. Obviously, now they've kind of just sat on their hands and kind of just waited for the market to kind of come to some of the guys that they either want to re-sign.
Yeah, talking about sending out an Amber Alert from
right.
Garpex.
But we'll see what's going on with that. But I want to hear your reaction on why you think this is good for the league.
Oh, well, for the NBA making money, it's great for the league. For people like us, this sucks.
Yeah,
this sucks.
I don't think, and don't confuse me with saying that this is bad for the league, with meaning that the league isn't going to make money hand over fist, because for some reason people like to watch super teams and root for them to lose.
Exactly.
So to me, every team is going to be hoping that Golden State lose, but let's be 100%. If all those guys are healthy, there's no team in the NBA that's beaten. You could argue that team couldn't beat an all-star team made in the East. I've seen people try to make.
Well, they're all all-stars. Every one of them.
saying.
Every one of them are perennial all-stars. But the thing here about this is, DeMarcus. We don't know what DeMarcus we're getting back. He's coming off a huge injury. On top of that, dude, like at the end of the day, this is good for the Bulls, I think.
And I'm
going to stick by this.
Good for the Bulls.
I'm going to stick by this and hashtag hot take. Here we go, hot take. Anthony Davis is going to be so pissed off and turned off by this that he's playing with Julius Randle this year, then he goes into 2020 and being a free agent. Anthony Davis is going to be coming home.
I hope you're right.
And he's going to join a young core. Or he's going to do the other rumor that's been floating around since, 3 days ago. Jimmy and Kyrie are wanting to play together, and the Bulls are being linked as one of the destinations for that to happen.
I saw that we've been going back and forth, obviously, with our crazy weeks, kind of talking via Twitter or texting
or whatever.
I saw that, and I saw that you're not the biggest fan of that idea when it comes to Kyrie and Jimmy, and I get your logic on that. I would love it if they're pairing it with an AD though. I think that's
the only way I want it to happen.
That's a squad.
And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't want. Listen, we're worried about keeping Zach LaVine. He's 23 years old. We don't know what his ceiling is, but he's coming off a knee injury. So we want to bring Jimmy, who just tore his meniscus, and he's got 100,000 miles on him because of Thibodeau.
Right. Yeah.
And then you want to bring in
underneath Thibodeau.
And then you want to bring in Kyrie, who's had histories of knee injuries. What are we doing? Listen, if AD comes, sure. Okay, let's give it a shot. But Kyrie and Jimmy ain't beating nobody.
But see, I think that this is the perfect, and this kind of goes to why I think this is perfect for the Bulls, because both of those guys are going to be able to play next year, and you can see what that means for how healthy they are, how good they are. And if I'm a Bulls fan, this is what I'm rooting for next year. This is throwing Zach LaVine out the window. This is throwing all speculation on who's coming here. I want to see Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum grow as players to where the point where Boston thinks, I don't really need Kyrie Irving. And then he goes out and tests the waters, although I think he's going to test the waters no matter what.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he tests the waters no matter what.
And I want to see Laurie take the next step along with Chris Dunn. That way that these players have ideas that, hey, Laurie can play, Chris Dunn can play. I'm not just going there by myself. I know I have a good young core around me that can shoot, score, defend, and I got a decent coach in Fred Hoiberg as of right now who's going to let me be me. And I think that's the great kind of idea of Fred. He really, in the sense of the rebuild, he's letting these young guys be them.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the sense of the rebuild, he's letting them play their games and everything like that, too. But this is what scares me also about Fred is, like, implement your offense a little bit more, because last year when we did not see Zach in the lineup, we saw a lot of wow, did he just crush that ball? Is it fair? That's foul. Sorry, we're watching the Cubs. Anyway, when I felt like he couldn't get a handle on Zach, because when Zach came back, Zach was kind of chucking. Zach was trying to show Zach, I think, for a paycheck. And we we speculated on that in a previous show.
Yeah, and I just really don't want to, like, I get the whole Zach talk, but I give Zach a pass for a lot of what happened in the second half, based solely on that. I think he's just getting back into playing the game again.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm not mad about Zach LaVine. Like, I don't want to lose Zach LaVine because I don't know. Like, again, rumors are rumors. Rumors are BS, and that's the way I look at it. Kyrie and Jimmy might want to play here. Oh, AD might want to come home. Oh, what do we have now that can help us?
And you can look at the other side of the spectrum at that as well. This same situation happened back when LeBron was a free agent. He went to the Miami Heat. When the Bulls had this young core and this same front office swung and missed on countless amounts, and we ended up with Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, but I also think this is a different sort of people in the NBA. It's not guys that wanted to be competitive or, guys that wanted to join other teams to win. It's guys that are wanting to play with their friends.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down
that's the other
to,
thing
man.
too.
It's different.
Well, but not really, though, because when you really look at, like, Chris Dunn and Lauri Markkanen, like, what young guys are hanging around with him yet? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you're right.
Lauri's, like, he's very to himself, in a sense, in my opinion. And Chris Dunn is just kind of growing into what's going on.
Right, well, they're young cats.
Right.
But back then, you knew, like back when LeBron went to Miami, when he left the first time when he left Cleveland, you knew what Derrick Rose was gonna be. I mean, he went from 16 points to 20 points, and in his third,
yeah, but he didn't have that MVP type of, like.
Well, when he won the MVP,
right, that was the next year.
You knew
he didn't have that MVP type of.
But you knew
he was gonna be a good player. You knew he was gonna be a good player, but that's the other thing too. There was a lot of question marks about Derrick Rose before that MVP season as well. Could he develop a jump shot?
And Kobe. Well, think about Lou Aldeng, who was there too. Lou Aldeng, like Kobe wanted to play with Lou Aldeng. You know, like I mean, there's a million.
There was a million different scenarios, but that's my point. This front office, when put to that task, hasn't really brought home the bacon in that sense. So I could see that other side of the spectrum. Do I think that that's the truth? No, I really don't. But I could see people making that argument. Hey, none of those guys are coming here because nobody's ever really come here to play in Michael Jordan's shadow either.
I don't like Foreman. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't like Gar Foreman at all. But John Paxson's somebody that I do like, and I think that he's done nothing but make the right draft picks for the most part. At the end of the day, I mean, he's gotten us a star a couple times. I mean, Lowry might be a future star, but Derrick Rose was a star. Jimmy Butler was a star. He's made some picks that it's really hard to hate the guy. He knows how to draft.
Absolutely. Yes,
because we can't get people here to come to Chicago. Like Carlos Boozer knew, like, okay, it's whatever, but people are going to where it's warm. Like I haven't seen a big-time free agent go to New York besides Melo because he wanted to try to build a brand there. We shall see how that worked out. I haven't seen a big-time free agent go to Brooklyn. I haven't seen they're going to the West Coast.
Well, that's the thing too. When you look at how expensive it is, and I know that these guys make millions and millions of dollars, the taxes on their salaries through Chicago, compared to obviously in Miami, there is no tax on income. L.A. expensive. But if you were given the choice to play in L.A. or to play in Chicago, and you had to pay the big brunt of the money anyway, I'd live where it's warm, where I can grow my own brand in Hollywood.
And that's why I have
a lot
a hard
of those
time.
guys want to go out there.
That's why I have a hard time hating on Pax or Gar because
of
that reason alone.
I understand. I just think that if you wanted to build an argument based on, I don't think any of these guys are coming here, you need to build through the draft, you can make it. You can make that argument that, hey, I don't think any of these guys are coming here, and I could legitimately look at people and say, okay, I get where you're coming from, because there really is no track record of anybody big coming here, but the Bulls are going to have to bring somebody in to be the guy.
It'll be via trade.
Or this year be bad again, and then end up in the top of the draft.
Yeah, like
and
what?
then
With like a
maybe end
Cam
up with
Reddish or a Zion Williamson or an R.J. Barrett. We'll have the college basketball breakdowns when it starts getting closer.
Right, and that's my thought on it though. You're either going to have to hit on a big free agent, or you have to really hit through the draft for like multiple years. That's
right. I could see that. One thing you have written down about the Kings offering Zach LaVine that big money deal. If they haven't done it yet, when are they going to do it?
Yeah, that's the. I think both teams, both the Bulls and the Kings, are waiting for this Zach LaVine market to set itself.
Well, they're going to be waiting a long time.
No, and that's right. Wait it out.
If I'm the Bulls, I put my final offer down on the table for Zach, and then if if the Kings come out, match him, come out and offer him a max, then that's
did you
what
see
gotta
that
live
report that some people think he's going to play on the qualifying offer?
If no one offers him anything, I can see it happening.
It'd be a win-win for the Bulls.
I mean, look at what Aaron Gordon got, and then look what Julius Randle got. He got $9 million a year, and Julius Randle was no slouch the last 2 years.
Right.
I'm shocked by that. I mean, Boogie Cousins, I know he's coming off an Achilles, but
they had a big void to fill after Boogie leaving too.
Yeah, but Julius Randle didn't get crap.
Right, but I'm just saying in a sense of, I mean, $9 million for.
I'm talking $9 million in crap, but you know what I mean. Like
right.
in terms of me and you are sitting playing GM mode in 2K, we're like, what the hell?
Right. I mean, Fellatio makes what, 8?
8. He makes 8. You know,
right.
like it's mind-boggling. Like
right.
That's what I don't know. I've had a couple of people.
But that was going into even when we had Fred and we had Keith on. They both said there's not a lot of money out there. They're really going other than LA, who obviously pulled the trigger on LeBron, and now I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute, but. There isn't a lot of money for people like Zach LaVine. There really isn't. Like, there's not much choice unless he's going to take a 1-year prove-it deal.
Well, a guy who's coming off a torn Achilles just signed for, who's a perennial all-star, by the way, just signed for $5.3 million for 1 year. Zach, who's coming off a knee injury and only played 24 games last year for the Chicago Bulls, wants a max deal. What?
Yeah, the market's upside down. It's flipped upside down.
It's weird. Like, so I can't.
You have to like sink your teeth into what the motive is. Obviously, for Boogie, I'm not playing until December. I might as well just.
He said he's talking shit. Right. I'm gonna be ready for training camp.
He's such a liar. He's not playing until December. For a guy like Zach, you know what that knee is. Obviously, as of right now, you know.
He still showed bounce, you know.
He did, and he may think that, hey. I'm good enough, or I need to fleece somebody before something bad happens to me again.
Right.
And I hope that's not the case, because like we've talked about on the show, I like Zach, and we also talked about this when we went back to the draft. Michael Porter Jr. released his medicals to one team, the Chicago Bulls. If there's a team at the poker table that you could fleece when it comes to knowing, and obviously this is their guy, the Bulls, they're fully capable of making the wrong move. And that's my based opinion on it. Obviously they know about Zach's knee. But to go out there and say that this organization has been well run, obviously the rebuild has gone smoother than we thought. Winning on the Jimmy trade, in some ways to me, has been a little lucky. They've even said it based on they didn't think that they had what they had with Lowry. And they thought he's outperformed every imaginable.
And he has. The kid can run the floor. The kid can shoot. Do you see what he's doing with the Finland team?
Right. He looks amazing.
He looks great. You know,
he's put on the weight,
which scares me. I hate when he plays for him. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna bitch at him because it's a dream come true for him. I'm sure, but it scares the crap out of me.
Just to go back to it, I mean, the Bulls have thrown a lot of dumb money in the past, and I am pleased to say the way free agency has gone. I'm happy with it because. I don't think anybody's beating the Warriors. I don't think even if you brought in a big name, you're contending next year. I think that we need another year with this young core. So I think that the Bulls we're not going to spend stupid money. We're going to let the Zach LaVine market set itself, and then we'll see if we want to match it. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, me too. And then getting into the last thing for the NBA, LeBron to LA. My thoughts on it real quick. Yeah, well, you know what? It wasn't interesting to me when I texted you before he signed. And remember when I saw that thing that his kid had visited that school in LA?
Yeah.
That's when I pretty much knew.
You can't fault a family move for the guy who...
LeBron's thinking about life after basketball.
Yeah, and he's getting to the twilight of his career. I can't fault the guy for saying, I want to build my brand so that I'm good for and obviously he's good for the rest of his life, but building a brand for him is the same kind of route that Michael Jordan kind of went. Life after basketball. LeBron, obviously, everybody buys Jordan shoes. That's what LeBron's looking to have for the rest of his life. And the good thing is the 4-year deal, he can now sit and wait, and when his kid's out of high school, if he's a one and done or if he's ready to go to the NBA, that we'll see if he wants to move again, because his goal was to play against or with his kid.
Right.
So
I wonder if that actually does happen, huh?
That would be amazing.
That'd be something.
That would be maybe the one thing about LeBron I would tip my cap and say, you really looked out for his son, and that'd be pretty cool. It'd be kind of cool to say that, like, what if he's I've been told he's a good basketball player. He's a crazy good player.
Bronny?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good.
So
he's good. The littler one, not so much. The older one,
he could play.
He could play.
So it'd be really cool to see, obviously young Bron and obviously twilight of the career with his old man play. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be the first time we saw something like that since the Griffeys, right?
Yeah,
father and son, right?
Yeah, probably one of the first times in basketball too. Right?
Yeah, I would think it would be. I can't think of anybody else that did that in basketball.
Off the top of my head, I really can't. Not a lot of people play long enough like that to really kind of stick around for. But I don't know.
Well, getting into MLB Roundup, transitioning from basketball. Actually, before we hit the roundup, again, be sure to follow us at SM Outcasts on Twitter, at SM Buzzweed, at SM Juiceman, and at Sports Mockery. Make sure you follow. I know that's a lot of follows, but make sure you follow all those pages because they bring you pretty cool shit. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and a comment down below on why you chose to listen to us. That is really great. We have like 20 some odd of them now, and we thank you very much for that.
Yeah, we're doing good.
SoundCloud, Google Play, all those other platforms, same thing. But yeah, getting into the MLB Roundup here. I'm gonna let you lead in with your Cubbies. We just watched them lose the Reds there.
Their 6-game win streak was snapped. Kind of sucks to watch them lose to the Reds again today. It seems like the Reds have been a thorn in our side. Can't really beat one of the worst teams in baseball, but hey, the Reds have been playing pretty solid in the last couple weeks. But it just seems like every time the Brewers and the Cubs play, they're both winning or they're both losing. It seems like everybody's keeping pace with each other. Darvish has just been the center of the news for the last 3 weeks.
And honestly, I hate to say this, dude. I really don't want to say this at all, but it's becoming a topic that I just don't give a shit to hear about
No, and
anymore.
I'm with you on it too.
I know you have to talk about it, but I'm literally getting so irritated about hearing about you, Darvish, every goddamn
That's why I was like,
section.
when I wrote it down in the line, in the outline, I'm like, come on, I really got to sit and talk about it.
Let's
evaluate the kid after
he
the
comes
second
back.
half here.
I see people tweeting at Yaskin, and it's why are they keep doing? Who cares? Just let it go for now.
Well, they've won 6 in a row, so there's really no problem as long as they're winning baseball. Obviously, to play like they're playing now in the playoffs, they're probably not going to win the World Series. They're going to need the starting pitching. But, we're winning. We're keeping pace with a Brewers team that's been one of the best in the National League. And that's kind of going into the season. I obviously had a lot of questions about the Brewers' rotation. Still hasn't been good, but their bullpen has kind of made up for what's going on with their starting pitching. But it's interesting to me to see what with the Cubs and the Brewers. We kind of figured that it was going to go down to the last couple weeks here, and what gives me the saving grace and makes me feel comfortable about what's going on with the NL Central is we've kind of had the Brewers' number. So going into that, I think when the lights turn on and it's big games, and I wonder how that Brewers squad will react to. Obviously, the Cubs have played big games for the last 3-4 years, NLCSs and World Series games, and they had the one-game playoff that decided their fate the year that they went to their first NLCS. But it'll be interesting to see what happens to that team when lights come on and it means something, because that's a different type of baseball game. But the Cubs are going to be fine. They're streaking. They're playing good. The U-Divers thing kind of, it does worry me, don't get me wrong. Anytime that you see a guy on DL like this for this long with an arm injury, you start to really worry if the doctors are catching what's really going on. And he's had 2 or 3 opinions on it. And after cortisone shots, I haven't heard too much other than they've shut him down for a little bit and kind of said, hey, we're going to reevaluate you in a couple weeks. So he'll throw a bullpen when he can, and we'll see. And we'll go from there. I don't expect them back until after the break, to be honest with you. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Are we upset about that? They're playing good baseball right now.
And they have a pretty favorable schedule going into the break. I know that they have a couple games with the Cardinals at the end before they go on the break. They play that Sunday night baseball game before, which is kind of ridiculous. That if one of the Cubs does make the All-Star team, they have to travel from that to play, because I think the All-Star game is on a Tuesday, and they have to be there for Monday media
day
or something like that.
Yeah.
So like the Cubs don't really get a break because they're down in St. Louis for that series, and after they fly away, it's like they have to come back and play baseball again within a couple days. But we'll reevaluate it. I wanted to talk more about a topic for the Cubs that really kind of makes me more energized, and it's the fact that Javi Baez, man, he's just so electric. I wanted to ask you, which baseball player of the past does he remind you of?
Oh, gosh. I don't know, man.
Because I've heard
maybe the odds, man. I don't know.
I've heard Roberto Alomar. I've heard
I don't think Roberto Alomar.
I've heard.
It's not a name that pops into my head
when
I think about Javi Baez.
In a sense of the fun type of game, I've seen like Griffey, just the smooth kind of, obviously in the field, making plays, but. I don't think I can put a finger on anybody that Javi compares it to.
I think Javi Baez is the first Javi Baez.
Right.
The guy has fun, and to be honest with you, if there's a current player that he kind of reminds me of, and obviously this player isn't as good as Javi Baez by any means necessary, but Yolmir acts a lot like Javi Baez does. It's just they have fun on the field. They try to make these fun plays, and that's what they do. It's just Javi Baez, man. I'm going to shout out to Zoe real quick, even though Zoe is a diehard Sox fan. Zoe and Aldo, I love those guys. But we were in the chat the other day. We were just talking smack, and Zoe said that Javi Baez is going to be, he's the best tagger of all time. Hall of Fame tagging. That's
a hot take right there.
It's a hot take. Well, when he's tagging, he's got moves on him, bro.
There's not many people who can move his. I think the coolest thing on him defensively and then stealing home and stuff like that is the way he is able to work small muscles in his body to avoid tags or to make plays in the field. For example, the other night I was watching, he doubled off somebody at second, and he's moving while he's catching the ball. Some people are just waiting, trying to judge where the ball. He is in a full-on sprint, or ready to get in a full-on sprint before he even gets to catching the ball. And he steals home the other day because they throw over to first, and he's crazy with the swim movement. But my sister's boyfriend, we were riding in the car the other day, we were talking about Javi Baez, and he made a good comparison. It's like the Steph Curry factor. When Steph Curry shoots a three in transit, like a deep three in transition, it's always the no. Oh, yes.
Oh, right, yeah.
And the cool thing for me is, and he kind of put it all in into a cool little bow, which was, you let him do that because that's him, and it works out a lot of the time. But he has this skill set that you just don't mess with it. I feel like Javi Baez was the type of guy that when he went to spring training, Joe Madden came up and was like, "Yeah, you gotta this is what we do," and Javi's like, "I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna be myself. I'm athletic. I can play any position around the field," and it's like that Steph Curry factor of, "Hey, this is who I am."
Well, that's what happens with electric players. You get stuff like that,
right? And I thought Steph Curry for a different sport was the perfect comparison.
Yeah, I hate him though.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I just it makes so much sense that you let him be him, and at the end of the day, he's gonna win you more ball games than he's gonna lose you.
I agree with that.
So
100%.
yeah, transitioning into your White Sox, I had a couple things based on what's going on with the rebuild. Kind of cool to listen to Kenny Williams finally open up about what's going on with the rebuild, because the genius Kenny Williams finally has to open his mouth and say he's kind of doing something, even though he just plays golf for a living now.
Shut up, Kenny.
Yeah.
Shut up, Kenny. Just shut up. If that gives maybe hypothetically one day we might get press credentials to go or something like that, and I won't be let in because I just told you to shut up. I'm fine with that. Shut up, Kenny. Because what you were doing before when you were the GM wasn't shit. No one was going to the games. When you brought Manny Ramirez in, or when you brought Ken Griffey Jr. in, or when you brought Adam LaRoche in, or Adam Dunn, dude, you put crappy. Just shut up. Just don't talk about baseball anymore. I don't know how you. You must have golden knee pads, bro.
No.
What? What? Hashtag hot take. Golden knee pads. That's not even a hot take, man. I'm not even eating a jalapeno for that.
It was interesting to see him finally open up his mouth this late into what's going on. Obviously,
and just look at the one line when he says it. You don't want them to get used to losing, the young players. So you just brought in older players to lose. That's what I get. Read between the lines. Read between the tweets. Read between the lines. You don't want them to get used to losing. No, we don't, but we want to see progression. That's what we want to see from players is progression.
And I think you've seen that from
see, I got mad.
Maybe
see
a guy. I know.
That's
I'm
your
sorry.
fault. That's your fault.
I know. I made the outline.
I have heartburn. I have heartburn.
No, but it was interesting to me to get that because there you go. So I just kind of wonder, on the major league level, you've seen Moncada contribute.
Yeah,
you've
we
seen
have.
some of these guys, like your Ronaldos and stuff
Timmy.
like that, have good, and Timmy, have great years as of right now. But I feel like injuries, a few key injuries on the minor leagues have kind of maybe moved this timeline back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Considering that Eloy and Luis Robert can't really stay healthy. And that's kind of scary. That, as a White Sox fan, early on in their career, I'd rather have it now.
Yeah.
That way they could get healthy, but this is key moments in their progression, and then they're leading up to becoming a big leaguer.
Eloy is gonna be fine. It was a little freak thing. Eloy's been playing well.
I remember him being a Cub, and he has these little freak things far too often.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's the scary part.
I could see that. I'm not worried about him, though, because it's just the progression still when he comes back. He's still kicking ass, and he doesn't miss a beat. Who I'm worried about is Robert.
Yeah,
because he just got here. He's hurt again. It seems like the guy's made out of straw. But why I'm not upset or worried about these guys is because, obviously, with all the players that we have down in the minors, we have the top 3 farm system. We're in the top 3 in the farm.
You have people who can, but see, to me, there's people that are on players on this. This is the second week in a row.
God damn it!
That's all right. You should drink it.
Who gives a shit? God damn it!
We have way too much fun in here.
I hate it. My basement floods. Now I spill my beer.
Well, I gotta cover you for you now. God, see, this is your topic, though.
Take my pants off in front of everybody. God.
No, but see, it's just that's what worries me with this whole rebuild, and I think I'm going to kind of spin zone it while you're trying to clean this up. The Kenny Williams talk with these guys getting used to losing kind of worries me because, you are losing a lot of ball games, and the Cubs did the same thing, so I think it gets kind of overblown. But to me, it's not losing. To me, it's losing players and losing time on a valuable rebuild that is kind of putting a little hamper on where you could really evaluate where this thing is right now. I personally was a 2020er when it came to this. I think that the White Sox are looking.
The rest of the show.
I'm looking at the White Sox, and I think it's a 2020 type progression when it comes to where I think that this rebuild is going to kind of take off. He's really got a towel.
I'm not wearing anything under it either. So just
it's electric.
It is. They call me Javi Squires. Javi Weed.
But so I do think that these injuries, if they keep going like this, is something you really need to be worried about because to me, Robert and Eloy are two people that can't fail. I mean,
Okay.
you could talk about prospects all you want, but let's face it. When I made the comparison in the last couple podcasts, Eloy is your Chris Bryant. He cannot fail. He is the guy that you've put this much into that if he fails, that's a huge fail for the organization, and that's a gaping hole that you thought that you were already filling.
I actually thought that Moncada was our Chris Bryant. I still think that. I just think that he was brought up too soon.
To me, he's your Rizzo.
He was rushed.
He's the guy. He's the guy that's gonna go through this whole shitty rebuild and this whole losing thing, and at the end of it, your fans will love even more because he's the one who went through hell and back when he was playing with all these scrubs. So to me, I think that's your Anthony Rizzo is your Yohan Moncada. I'm not pairing them when it comes to like player. I'm pairing them on their timeline. But that's the thing. Hypothetical, if Chris Bryant were to fail, the Cubs don't win the World Series in 2016.
Right.
And who knows where they're at now. So to me, that is your Chris Bryant. Eloy cannot fail.
I can see what you're saying. I just don't think Moncada can fail. Eloy came from, I understand where Eloy came from, and he came from the trade with Quintana.
Yeah, but
and all
Moncada
that.
can't do it by himself.
No, right. I don't think he can't do it by himself. But again, I'm very optimistic with what we have in the farm, and then what we can do with that, with trades or free agency coming up next. When free agency does come up and all that. Again, I'm worried about Robert. That's who I'm worried about. Not because we gave him crazy money or anything like that, just because the kid's been touted as exciting and fun and keeps getting hurt, so he can't show it.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It could be that I'm not just that. I'm a worried fan because obviously I don't have everything sunk into it like you do.
Yeah,
because being
I'm
a Cub fan on the other side,
it's very hard to dive deep into other franchises.
Looking at it from from the window, looking into the hourglass type deal.
Don't know how much time has passed, and though it feels like forever.
I just don't. I worry because this is very valuable time that they're missing, and to me, there are two guys in that organization that can't fail, and one of them, which is at the major league level, and he's proven he can play, and the other is not healthy.
Yeah.
And when he's on the field, he shows he can play.
He's electric.
He shows he can play.
Yeah.
But you can't be on the field if you're hurt.
Yeah.
That's that would scare me.
I'm not scared about Eloy yet because this is like his second little hiccup with us, and the guy plays almost every day.
With you though, but see, the Cubs had the same issue.
Right. So
this is like the third time he's been hurt.
Right. I can see that. that. I'm more worried about Robert being hurt 2 times in a month and a half.
No, I totally understand. I just think Robert to you is the cherry on top.
No, let's hope.
If you can have Eloy and Moncada in that lineup, you should be able to fill it out. Free agency, whatever you got based in there. To me, Robert is your cherry on top.
Yeah,
he's your Javi Baez.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely. But transitioning into Chicago Bears talk here. One thing I wanted to address was a question that we got earlier today.
Sure.
And I can't remember the question. So while I look for that.
Slap bet? 15,000 yards.
Was
it the 15?
No, it was 1,500.
15,000. That 15,000 would be something. 1,500 yards would be that's
for Jordan Howard. He would stay
under.
Right, and he would stay ahead. Was that on the S? Was that on?
That was on us. That was on the SM.
Okay, well, he asked, do we think that Jordan Howard can get to 1,500 yards? I say no this year.
I hope so.
Me too. I definitely hope so. But I think with the new offense being implemented, Tariq Cohen's going to be seeing a lot more field time. The ball's going to be getting passed a lot more than it was.
Yeah,
I don't see him getting 1,500 yards rushing.
I can't say yes or no because I really don't know what the Matt Nagy offense is going to look like based on the personnel.
I keep hearing West Coast.
Yeah, and I could see it, but I wonder. He may protect Trubisky early on here and run the ball a lot more often than we think.
I mean, I'm fine.
And I'm fine with that, too, because Jordan Howard is...
My opinion is I just don't see it.
No, I said as my response to that, if he's over, the slap bet's in play. Because I think if they're able to run the ball, it's going to make it so much easier to throw.
What was the original slap bet with this cat? They went 12-4?
No, it was 10 wins.
They had 10 wins, and he gets to smack me in the face, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But if I win, I get to smack him in the face, right?
I don't know. I don't know if there was a a trade.
Oh, there's no trade. It's just
I thought it was you just get slapped.
Oh, I just get slapped.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's fucking okay. That's fine.
I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
fine. That's fine. I'll be on cloud 9 anyway. He can smack me in the face because I'll
you're
have.
always on cloud.
Yeah, well, right. I'm always
You're
floating.
wearing no pants right now.
I have literally no pants on right now. That's fine. But I'll be on cloud 9 not because of that reason. Because the reason is if he wants to smack me, if they get 10 wins, that's cool. I would still have beaten Pat O'Donnell in a lifting and running contest.
Not to mention, me and you are probably at a playoff game if they win 10.
Absolutely.
Probably.
And
I
they're
would
gonna
assume.
What, the Bears are gonna get this close, and we're gonna have to purchase the playoff tickets, and then
And then they try to get you to keep them for.
Yeah,
and they try to roll it over into the season.
instead of giving you your money back.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Makes sense. I hate that.
I could rant about that all day.
Want to talk about Mitch Trubisky?
I like Mitch Trubisky.
Read that quote for me?
I love his charisma. Mitch Trubisky was quoted as saying, "I really feel like I was built for this offense. It's dynamic, it's creative, and it's also balanced, and that's what you want. We're going to get the ball out quick. We're going to deceive defenses. We're going to spread the field, and we're going to get it all over to our playmakers. We're going to be balanced. We're going to play fast. We're going to be dynamic, and we're going to stretch the field every which way."
So that was my question to you. Obviously, as they brought in some speed guys and some guys that they can move around the football field in different situations and put them in different packages. Who is the one player you think that is going to be pivotal? Obviously, Mitch Trubisky is one of them. The offense does not go without Mitch Trubisky.
Right.
But what is one player not named Mitch Trubisky that you think is pivotal to moving the ball sideline to sideline, moving the ball deep to front, moving it back and forth to stretch the field? It's a good question.
I think Tariq Cohen's going to be one of them.
I know, but who's the one? Because to me,
I think we're going to have multiple.
If A-Rob can't,
it's not going to be A-Rob.
But if A-Rob can't blow off like the top of the defense and the safeties, which I don't see why you should have any problem with, I think that everything shortens up. I wonder. I think A-Rob's going to be a focal point early based on. Well, he's your best player.
It's really simple here.
He's your best ball catcher out of the back.
It's really simple here. I think it's going to be the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be Anthony Miller.
We can hope.
I think.
And that's you hope. You hope that you got a guy like that in the second round that can.
I think he's going to be that guy. He's something else.
And I was watching some of his workout videos and blowing people off. It's amazing. I am beyond excited for that kid. I'm excited for us to go to training camp. I know we'll be doing that as well.
It's going to be fun.
But it'll be interesting to see. I had a very hard time coming up with a player that, if I had to pick one of them, Cohen came to my mind very often. But to me, I think that with how much they paid A-Rob and with how talented he is, I think he's very important to blowing off the top of that defense and kind of really making them respect. Because let's be honest here, there's not very much tape on Mitch Trubisky throwing the deep ball here.
Right.
So, and I know in college he has, but this is the pros where things need to come out quicker. They need to be more precise. I think that it's going to be huge in the beginning of the season for them to establish A-Rob on a post, going deep, blowing the top of the defense off. That way, as those safeties move back and out of the box, it opens up the running game.
I just hope A-Rob could do that.
He shouldn't be. He should be able to.
That's something that we talked about before, though. I think that A-Rob's coming off that serious knee injury, and I think that it's weird sitting on here with no pants on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's kind of weird sitting next to you with no pants.
Well, I could see why, but that I don't have any pants on because I spilled my beer all over myself for a second week in a row.
2 weeks in a row. I'm gonna have to put a nipple on the next one. Maybe we'll just put it in one of your.
I am so good at drinking out of a nipple.
You got you got a baby bottle up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put your next beer in a baby.
I feel embarrassed a little bit.
Why?
I don't.
Why? Because it's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Damn, it's 2 party fouls in a row.
It's 2 fallen soldiers in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I saved it.
You did, but he's half alive.
Well, he's going to be all...
You did spill a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then you decided to just spill it on your pants.
Well,
I didn't
better than on my
why
equipment.
You didn't just but
I didn't want the carpet to get wet again.
Well, it's already wet.
You
did spill it on that, too.
I've had enough of this.
What a fun week, though.
Yeah.
What a fun time to get out.
It's a good time to be alive.
We're going to definitely, obviously, I feel kind of bad because I felt like we've gotten kind of sidetracked without an NBA free agency, and obviously with the baseball, The
There's
Bears
not a
will
lot
have
going on,
the
man.
Bears will have
There's-
their time, and we're gonna be diving hard into Bears
they're
football.
gonna be
come the
so
fall.
they're gonna be so annoyed. Everybody's gonna be so annoyed as soon as football starts because we're gonna be all over it like we usually are. You know,
Oh, I know.
It's just nothing
And
going on right
tailgates,
now.
you're gonna be seeing us too much. That's the.
Oh, we are still chopping up that Bulls video. Considering I worked a lot last week,
It's
here
tough.
and it's been well, yeah. I worked a lot last week, and then when I came home, I actually had plans on doing it when I got home from dinner yesterday, and my basement was flooded. So having the kid and everything, it's just kind of hard to do it. He's been traveling; it's been kind of rough. So
and I'm not the best with that stuff.
Yeah, no, but anybody that wants to do anything like that for us, holla at us.
Yeah, you can cut up our stuff.
You can cut up our stuff.
College credit.
Yeah,
or
college
we'll pay in
credits
beer.
or we'll pay you in beer. You know, whatever you want. It's cool with us. But yeah, it's just been such a weird week, man. And I'm just kind of glad. This was what I was looking forward to. Not spilling my beer and being on a podcast in front of millions of people
And
with no
having no
pants
pants
on. I wasn't looking forward to that. I was looking forward to just bullshitting and getting back into the grind here, man.
We gotta title this one the No Pants Pod. Maybe.
Yeah, this is just titled the No Pants Pod because I got no pants on.
So yeah, we're gonna replug all the stuff we plugged from the beginning of the show, just in case you guys missed it. We will be Sports Mockery will be at Papa Hop's 16-inch softball tournament on Friday, July 3rd at Kennedy Park Fields. There'll be beer softball. Sports Mockery will be in attendance, and that benefits the Tom Hopkins Memorial, which benefits cancer families as well as youth athletic programs for that area. Juice will be in Decatur doing a wiffle ball tournament for Habitat for Humanity. They call it Swing for Homes. I'm a big believer in Habitat for Humanity, making sure that animals get a home, and it's cool. It's good for a good cause. We'll be out there. If you guys live in the Decatur area, come and meet me. I'll be streaming all my at bats and some tidbits along the way. There's supposedly a beer tent and some live music, so maybe I'll throw some live music on there as well and do a beer rating.
I like beer.
And you guys can see if it's any good, because I think they too have a beer down there that they're tapping for that thing.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah. Same thing will go with the E-Crow moment. Remember, I said I'm going yard twice in this tournament. Hopefully in the first at bat, pointing to center field. So get the jalapenos ready, because I'm probably grounding out to third.
I can't wait. Can't wait. You got to let me know the stat line, because I won't be there. Be sure to check out the Mockery Podcast Network, where you can find our brethren Pinwheels and Ivy, or you can find us, the Outcasts. I gave you all the 5-star ratings on iTunes crap, the comments on that, like, subscribe. Oh, wait, I already said like, subscribe, comment on YouTube, every other platform. And if you want to see more No Pants podcasts, let a brother know. Because he's right here. No Pants, right now.
Extra Pants Podcast come the winter.
Yeah.
It'll be Snow Pants Podcast.
Oh, it'll be cold down here. If we still live here.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh,
Who knows?
man.
I'm teasing the viewers already.
I'm teasing a little bit. I doubt it happens. But if it does happen,
Fingers crossed for the
man.
buzzweed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I need good vibes sent this way. Because it'd be sweet.
But all right, Buzz, I'm gonna let you get to your birthday dinner. Not his birthday dinner, a birthday dinner.
It's my birthday dinner.
Well, your birthday's coming up though.
Yeah,
We should do something special for that.
It's because they're leaving. They're going to Wisconsin, so they wanted to. They're going to be there for 3 weeks, so they wanted to do
Oh,
my.
so that is your birthday dinner.
Tonight's
then,
my
huh?
birthday dinner, right?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
so
have fun with. Where
I'm
you
turning.
Going?
I'm turning 21
Where are you going?
for
dinner?
I turn 27. I'm going to Automo.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Automo. Or you know what? I don't know yet. I just spilled beer all over myself. I might go to Agave, go get a margarita. Just keep having this fly.
Good move.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, man. I mean, why not?
We'll see.
You know what I'm thinking about doing with my birthday money?
What's that?
Giving it to you.
Would be something.
Yeah, would you like that?
No, I'm good.
You don't want
I
it?
don't want your money.
But it's not that reason. The
Why?
reason is because I
So I
pressured
can
you to
buy
buy
you some pants?
No, Kyle. No. Because I pressured you to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, no, not your PS4 guy.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It's in a box over there. It's not
Give
even
me
a
your birthday money.
Yeah, you can use my birthday money.
And then I can go get a PS4.
Yeah.
Deal.
There we go.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Well, we'll be back again next week. We got to plan that out.
Same time, same place. Won't be the same time. We'll be recording on Thursday next week, but we will be. Today's Friday afternoon, but we will be back next week. Let us know on Twitter, comments down below here on YouTube, what you guys want to hear, how you guys want to hear it, what topics you want us to hit, what you don't or do want us to talk about, and
Yeah.
I
tweet
am
at
Buzz
us.
for my man Juice.
We'll be doing some live Twitter stuff this
live
week
Twitter.
as well. So yeah, we'll get back at you next week.
Absolutely. We will see. You hit your head too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Fantastic. I love the grind, man. As for Buzz, this is Juice. We'll be back next week. Deuces.
Go to Sports Mockery for Chicago sports news and commentary from those who know it best, the fans.